wife. Well, love and sleep are strange unto the night. She burns a candle for the devil and wonders, can the time be right? At the end on her light forever. Farewell, my daughter, your body is my tomb. My spirit fades like starlight in your room. So I'm going to Bryson City, where the Cherokee rose tree blooms. At the edge of night I shun her light forever. Beyond Blood Mountain, I'm moved by shadow bound. Where the snake's head grins, the gray hawk tends the ground. And the spirit of the living is a river frozen underground. For beyond Blood Mountain, beyond Blood Mountain, beyond Blood Mountain. Now here's a song that I learned after I'd been grievously overserved by an apprentice bartender at Charlie's Bar and Package Store in Maitland, Florida. For those of you who haven't tippled at this water hole, Charlie's is right across Red Bug Road from the Maitland turkey farm. Now nothing too exciting ever transpired around the old turkey farm. The most exciting thing ever to happen there involved an ex-high school classmate of mine who pulled up adjacent to the teeming turkey pens on the eve of Thanksgiving, leaned out of his rump-sprung Henry J. automobile and blew 3 authoritative toots on a tin-plated police whistle, causing the somnolent and semi-comatose birds amassed there in holiday profusion to rouse themselves, poking their heads up periscope-wise to discover the source of the disturbance. Whereupon our young pilgrim leaned carefully out of his rusted chariot with an unplugged J.C. Higgins 10-gauge goose gun with which he slew 497 birds. This was referred to thereafter by the chroniclers of our community destiny as the Great Maitland Turkey Farm Massacre of 1953. Done. Woe is me. Why can't I see that this believing well enough alone? Them neon light nights couldn't stay out of fights keeps a haunting me in memory. Well, there's one in every crowd for crying out loud. Why was it always turning out to be me? Where does it go? The good Lord only knows. Seemed like it was just the other day. We were down at Green Gables, hawking them tables, generally blowing all my hard-earned pain. Piano roll blues, dance holes in my shoes. There weren't another other way to be. For lovable losers, no account losers, and honky-tonk heroes like me. Where does it go? The good Lord only knows. Seemed like it was just the other day. We were down at Green Gables, hawking them tables, generally absorbing all my hard-earned pain. Piano roll blues, dance holes in my shoes. There weren't another other way to be. For lovable losers, no account boozers, and honky-tonk heroes like me. Nothing too exciting ever happened across the road at Charlie's except when Penrod came in. Now, Penrod was a local, devout, deeply committed, totally involved, commode-hugging drunk. He dealt mainly in small change. He'd steal hood ornaments off Peterbilt diesels at the A&W Root Beer parking lot and fence them at the Western Auto Store. He'd dynamite catfish in copious commercial quantities in the Little Oconaluhatchee River and sell them in bulk to Howard Johnson's for scallops. But he was chiefly celebrated among the populace of our community for having imported into our thankful midst a young woman of sporting morality by the name of Elfrieda, who had been drummed out of high-rolling society in Phoenix City, Alabama, after her health card had been punched so many times it disappeared into thin air. Now, this Elfrieda considered herself an interpretress of the modern dance. And lo, whenever the dulcet and mellifluous tones of Miss Peggy Lee were heard to resonate upon the Wurlitzer, singing that grand old American standard, Fever, Elfrieda would lose herself in an engaging series of peregrinations, pirouettes, and bumps and grinds, calculated to leave even the most diffident of observers fraught with horn. On this particular night, Penrod and Elfrieda and a randy retinue of rednecks came stomping into Charlie's, All the local good old boys were bellied up to the bar, snapping the galluses on their big dads, their left hands upraised in that fervid type of monodigital articulation which bespeaks an argument in progress about the relative merits of post-hole digging attachments for John Deere as opposed to Massey Ferguson tractors. They turned about and beheld the entry of Penrod and Elfrieda, and in a great man-swarm gaggle of Arcadian underachievers, they slewed crabwise over the polished floor of that establishment, stoking the jook with legal tender in such a manner that Peggy Lee's fever played 97 times. And Elfrieda so lost herself in a transcendental evocation of her timeless art, struggling gamely, as it were, up the Olympiad of her sensibility, that she shucked her duds right on Charlie's terrazzo floor. I responded to this visual phenomenon of unslaked carnality by instantly proposing marriage to a one-eyed waitress who happened by. Oh, I didn't want to get into anything heavy. I just wanted to set up light housekeeping in a pup tent out in the parking lot until closing time. I was out there with my borrowed ball-peen hammer and my steel tent stakes, putting that tent up in the asphalt. Some idiot run over my foot with a pickup truck, emptied out his ashtray in my sleeping bag, and the woman rejected me. So I had no choice but to go home and write this old song. Well, I just wanted to tell you the true story so you'd understand where art comes from. A cabaret on the highway, you know the time is 10 till 2. A pretty waitress at my table, a pretty waitress at my table. She said, what can I do for you? Oh, baby, I'm so lonely and my mind is ill at ease. I need a woman to love me. But if you cannot love me, then Jack Daniels, if you please. Oh Lord, I fell way down upon my knee. Maggie, darling, I need some loving. Oh, deep, deep down in my dark old soul, won't you set my mind at ease? Oh, baby, you know I'm gonna love you, so lay your head down across my knee. I'm gonna kiss you and I'll caress you. But honey, there's just one little thing I ask you for first. What's that now, mama? Jack Daniels, if you please. Whiskey and water. Oh, whiskey and water. Here's to fear and pain and sorrow. Jack Daniels, if you please. Now here's a story about a deputy sheriff from DeKalb County, Georgia. That old boy arrested me. He had every high-performance accessory known to humankind on his county pursuit vehicle. He had Goodyear polyglass wide boot Series 60 tires, 1.5 feet wide, with the big white letters on the side of each tire. It said, "Redneck." He had mag wheels, hooker headers, cherry bomb resonators, Delco airlift pleasurizers, spring shackles, tailpipe extensions, a Hurst 4-speed gear shift, an Edelbrock high-rise manifold, a Holly 4-barrel carburetor, and a Le Mans racing stripe on his Massey Ferguson tractor. He got off that thing, swaggered up to me. He say, "Boy, don't you be talking spiteful and nasty and mean at me like none of them hippy-dip communist punks come through here every day from Macon, driving them Volkswagen microbotic buses with all them sleeping bags and chemical commodes in the bed of them like some kind of mobile orgy." Now, I was writing out a ticket to one of them long-haired fruits. He leaned out the window, he say, "Baby, give me 5 cheeseburgers and a Coke." I pulled him out of that contraption and chucked his tail through a Wake Up America billboard. And I could tell by the clothes he was wearing that this deputy was some kind of a primitive man. He had on a breech clout made out of 2 Fruhoff mud flaps. He had a styrofoam pith helmet with an STP decal on the front, Tom McCann penny loafers with quarters stuck in the top. And he was well armed in the tradition of the North Georgia law. Over his bare chest, he had 2 .45 caliber bandolier belts with the cartridge loops alternately stuffed with Havatampa jewels and Slim Jims. Had a shoulder holster made out of a PF sneaker with a toe cut out, carrying an axe handle personally autographed by Lester Maddox. He said, "Son, I ain't gonna give you no ticket. You're a homeboy under that hair. I'll let you off easy like with a traffic warning citation." Now, in DeKalb County, Georgia, those warning citations are printed up in the form of bumper stickers. He went back to the tractor and he got me a citation, peeled the brown paper off the back and licked it one time, slopped it over the back of my automobile. I went back and read it later on. It said, "Eat more possum." like you're a woman more than anyone I've ever known. July, you're a woman now. July, you're a woman now. You know I love you, girl. You know I need you so. You know I want you now. Come on home, girl. You know I love you. A simple man, I got no command of the written word. I can only try to tell you of the things I've seen and heard. So listen to the picture forever etched upon my mind. The day that hell broke loose just north of Marietta along the Kennesaw line. The sun rose high above us that morning on a clear and cloudless day. A pack of wood tapped up on a tree that would soon be blown away. The heat blistered down through the leaves on the trees, and the air seemed hot enough to catch fire. The heavens seemed to be made of brass, and the sun rose higher and higher. Everything got real still and quiet. My old messmate Walter Hood said, I believe them boys down there are up to something. Oh, it's no damn good. The storm broke, swept down on us, and it rumbled through the hills. Walter sighed and dropped his rifle, says something to me about the whippoorwill. Can't you hear them singing, singing for you and me? And all the Maury Grays, Lord, won't you carry me back to Tennessee? God bless the 1st and the 27th, Grand Rock City Guard. Sammy, nobody ever told me that dying would be so hard. Sammy, I think I'm hurt real bad. It ain't just a hell of a day. You best go and leave me now, or I need some time to pray. You know how bad I've been wanting to go home, but I couldn't see rightly how. Old Colonel Field won't have much of a choice. I reckon I'll get my furlough now. Can't you hear them singing, singing for you and me? And all the Maury Grays, Lord, won't you carry me back to Tennessee? God bless the coward and the brave alike who died where the seeds of death are sown. I pity the poor Yankee bastards who died so far from home. I am but a simple man, I've got no command of the written word. Well, I can only try to tell you the things I've seen and heard. So listen to the picture forever etched upon my mind. The day that hell broke loose just north of Marietta along the Kennesaw line. When hell broke loose just north of Marietta along the Kennesaw line. Well, I'm just the godfather to the prodigal son, and I move about by sleight of hand. You see me levitating here on East Baltimore Street with all my goods in a Prince Albert can. Oh, I'm a well-known face along Columbia Trace and the dark side of the moon. They call me Habersham, County Mephistopheles, but I'll exorcise your demon pretty soon, pretty mama. I'm gonna exorcise your little demon pretty soon. Cigarettes and philosophy and idle talk. Well, I was weaned on a pickle, still I learned how to smile. You see, the Lord gives me grace and the devil gives me style. He say, boy, you better start out like you can hold out, son, if you want to leave this earth alive. Thank you, devil. Dig out there, baby. I'm coming on down there. Now get back on the shelf and take his place over myself. Doris moved among the towering enchantments of old St. Augustine, her hair in a long pigtail, wearing clothing she made of Irish linen. Always, it seemed, in the company of someone who instinctively sought her out to share the treasure of their heart. She would listen ardently to what they said, and they would go away more graceful for having been listened to by this creature who spurned the pipe, who spurned the bottle, who loved the salt air and the sunlight, and who hated only cruelty. She who died at the hands of one of those with whom she walked, who now lies buried in St. Augustine, and is remembered by poems and elegies and eulogies, by paintings and statuary. For the ancient city is a place of artists and writers, as well as fools and fishermen. Doris wound the bishop's clock. She served him macaroons and tea. She bought him oysters at the dock. At night she came to me, graceful as a Pharaoh's daughter, bringing life in sour ground. She brought me green to the Spanish water, showed me bridges out of town. And we often spoke of towers and of patriarchs and powers and of how the angels hurt. And where the haints and vandals turned, we'd listen to the candles burn. And we'd measure Irish linen for a shirt. Within my ocean dream, her pain like bubbles on a dolphin's breath, as lanterns hiss and pirates kneel to murder one who danced with death before the years of wine and steel. Patriarchs and powers, and of how the angels hurt. And where the haints and vandals turn, we'd listen to the candles burn. And we'd measure Irish linen for a shirt. Now the snow lies over hollow ground, and jewels glitter in the choir. Walls and mirrors crashing down. Tonight the poet drowns for hire. The soul believer drives a hack, and he whips his ponies to a spray. And tongueless lovers bare their backs, and